Hi, I'm Lisa Hayden with Channel 6 Central Kentucky TV, community focus on Washington County. And I'm delighted to have today with me Mr. Wesley Shoemaker, a veteran of World War II, and we're celebrating Veterans Day. Well, we did yesterday, and we had a program at Washington County High School this past Friday, and I was fortunate to be able to attend to honor our veterans, and got the pleasure of meeting Mr. Shoemaker here, or I know your daughter Jackie Mattingly, and so I called Jackie and said, your father needs to be here on Channel 6 so we can thank him for his service to our country, and tell us about your involvement in World War II. But first, Mr. Shoemaker, I'd like to start with you're a Washington County fella.
Yes, ma'am.
And you were telling me that you grew up at Pleasant Grove.
90-something years here.
You are how old? 90?
I said I was 96. I'm 96.
You're 96.
Yes, ma'am.
Born in
Pleasant Grove neighborhood. You know where Pleasant Grove is?
yes.
Born there all my life.
Uh-huh.
Till I moved here in town.
Uh-huh. And who were your parents?
Marvin Shoemaker and Florence.
Okay. And do you have any brothers and sisters?
They're all gone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the oldest and still living.
Uh-huh. And you have one daughter, I know, Jackie. Is she your only?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you grew up here and went to school?
I went to school in Mackville. Well, I went to school at Pleasant Grove, country schools. Went 7 months out of a year. And then from there, when I went to high school, I went to Mackville.
Okay. And graduated from Mackville High School?
I didn't graduate.
You didn't graduate?
No, ma'am. I quit and went to work on a farm.
Uh-huh. So you grew up on a farm?
Yes, ma'am.
And so, well, you know, that was pretty typical, wasn't it, of people just to go to work on the farm when they were old enough?
Well, I had to walk 1 mile and 7/10 to catch a bus. And all kinds of weather, and I didn't like it, and my daddy needed me on the farm. When I got 16, I just quit and went to work with him.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And have you been farming all your life?
All my life, and in the excavating business. See, I was in the Springfield excavating business for about 40-some years.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you were operating those backhoes and
dozers.
Dozers and all of that. Yeah. So so tell me a little bit about you went to work on the farm with your dad, and you had several brothers and sisters?
One brother and 2 sisters.
Uh-huh. And I imagine your brother worked with you on the farm as well.
Oh, he was young. He's 15 years younger now. He didn't have to work much.
Oh.
He was spoiled. He was the youngest.
Well, what about your sister?
They worked on the farm, too. Yeah.
Did they work on? Yeah. So, and I guess you all had all kinds of vegetables and
anything to live and make money, try to get by.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
These things were pretty hard then at one time, back in the 30s.
Yeah, you lived through the Depression.
Right, yes, ma'am.
And so I know you're probably one of those people that keep everything and find a use for everything you have.
You didn't throw nothing away.
No, sure didn't.
Sure didn't.
Yeah. And then now tell me about when you married, or did you meet your wife in school?
She was a cheerleader at Mackville High School, and I met her there through a cheerleader. And we went dating, and I went to service and come back, and then went to dating again and remarried her.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. And what was her name?
Christensen, Jean Christensen Shoemaker. I mean, she's a Christensen, married a shoemaker.
So, and you all, and were married how many years?
About
And
69, I think.
when did Mrs. Shoemaker pass away?
About 3 years ago.
Okay. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
You were married a long, long time, and fortunate to have all those years together.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah. And now your only child is Jackie?
Mm-hmm.
Is that
I
right?
have a son, David.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, Jackie is the only one. Now, does David? Where is he?
He's in Boyle County now.
Okay.
Got a farm up there.
Okay, so he's a farmer too.
Oh, he's in the horse business.
Oh, okay.
He sells horses everywhere.
Oh, for goodness sake. Now, did you have horses when you were?
I had mules to work. We worked mules. My daddy did.
Okay. So, well, that's interesting.
We didn't have any tractors then when I went to service. You couldn't get a tractor. See, tractors wasn't known till they come out of service after the war. Then you could get a tractor.
But before then, I guess you plowed with mules.
Mules. Right.
And did a lot, yeah.
Everything was mules.
Yeah, yeah. So what now? Did you how old were you when you went to the service?
How old you say? 19.
You were 19, and were you drafted? Is that how?
Well, I was going to be drafted, but I volunteered.
You volunteered?
See, I worked at the Dacker warehouse, and it was about over with. And I wanted to know whether I was going to have to go to the Army or stay on the farm. I didn't want to start a crop and then have to be pulled away from it. So I went to the draft board and told them I wanted to go if I had to go. So they called me the next month.
Gosh, a lot of people from Washington County, I know, went to 26 Washington County men were formally inducted into the Armed Forces of the United States at the Armory in Louisville Wednesday. And this was August the 6th, 1942. February 4th, 1943.
Right.
43. Okay. And you were one of those. William Wesley Shoemaker was appointed corporal and leader of the group returning home. And so when you got into the service, it sounds like you rose to high ranks pretty fast.
I don't. They just had to have somebody. They just put my name down. I didn't have anything to do with the ranks.
And so you were instructed to leave Springfield and for the reception center at Fort Benjamin Harrison, Indiana, where they will be assigned to training centers for their basic training. And it says other calls are pending according to reports to the Sun. So 26 men went at that time. And it looks to me like there were Elwood Chesser, Arville Lawson, Thomas Bishop, William M. Carrico, Cletus Prather, Alfred Tate, Francis Godey, Leslie Gammon, Hubert Colvin, John L. Allen, Aaron Young, William Wesley Shoemaker, Alexander Spaulding, Marcy McRae, Joseph Fies, Charles Smothers, Julian Edlin, Robert Cheatham, Robert Hudson, Robert Holderman, James Coulter, Eugene Mattingly, Truman Stein, John Derringer, and Ralph Devine. I recognize several of those names.
You do?
Yeah. So, but now, you know, Mr. Shoemaker, I believe, from what I understand, you're the oldest living veteran from World War II in this county.
That's what they tell me now. I don't know how they come up with that, but that's what they tell me. I'm the oldest.
Yeah, yeah. So I
Only-
don't know if any of these men I just listed, I don't believe,
I know one still living, Julian Nealon.
okay.
Now, as far
And
as-
he's at Wilmore in the residence home there
Yes,
for
sir.
veterans, the veterans home.
now that's the only one I know of.
Uh-huh, okay. So when you went into the service, you know, of course, we were in active combat in the thick of it.
Oh, yeah.
Where did you go then? You went to basic training,
Took my basic training in Benicia, California.
and what kind of training were you in? Just,
Well, that was just basic training. That was
Uh-huh.
hut 2, 3, 4, and
okay,
do your calisthenics and ups and down and all of that stuff.
uh-huh,
We didn't stay there too long, then was just shipped us on out.
okay. And where'd you go from there?
Guadalcanal. After I got all my basic training, I went to Guadalcanal and stayed there rest till the war was over.
Okay. And so you were there, how long were you there?
In Guadalcanal,
Mm-hmm.
25 months.
And there was combat going on there as well at some point.
It was, and he had quite a battle there. Before I got there, it was over when I got there.
Okay.
So I didn't really see any action, although we had 52 men in the battalion got killed, but I wasn't in the head.
And so what was your job?
I got on as a bulldoze operator.
Oh, okay. So
Go ahead.
you were digging,
I built ramps up for LSTs to load up. You know what LST is?
I do not.
It's a big, long ship, and they'd come to shore and they'd drop their door down. You drive
Right.
equipment and load everything up on it, ready to go on up to the combat area.
And so you would dig these,
Kept the ramp smooth so that load
Load them
equipment,
up.
load trips.
so had you ever operated equipment like that prior to that?
No, ma'am, I lied, told him I had, but I hadn't. But I got on all right. I always wanted to operate a dozer, but I felt like I could. And I told the officer that I could do it, and that's the way I got on.
Well, so then you, you must have caught on pretty quickly because they kept you in the job.
Yeah, they did.
So that's interesting. And so you were able to stay there then through the war. And did you get to go on leave anytime? If you,
Wasn't no place to go.
I was gonna say, what?
No store. No Coca-Cola, nothing like that. We couldn't have anything like that on there.
So you just didn't, when you did get a little bit of leave, you just stayed in the barracks.
Back to us. We'd get together and walk around, go over the island a little bit maybe, but it wasn't a thing to do. No store to buy nothing. Couldn't spend your money. Get payday, go have a big card game, poker game, shoot craps, such as that.
Well,
There wasn't any buildings or nothing there but tents, and just like we lived in. And jungles. It was all jungles behind us.
yeah. So did you ever feel in danger?
No, I never did. But although we had in D, I was in A Company. D Company lost 52 men there. They was on a ship one night and it blowed up.
Oh,
No, just
and it and it blew up there. It was
Blew
there.
up.
It was
out in the water. Yeah.
docked.
It was
At the-
it was out about a half a mile out from shore.
I see. And oh, that's awful. And so did you just how was the food, by the way?
Poor. When you don't have any refrigeration, no ice, nothing like that. Everything had to be canned or dried.
So you had all those rations in all those cans
Yeah.
and things like that?
We had cooks. They cook it. They mix up something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Eat dried eggs and potatoes such as that. So you couldn't have any fresh fruits or nothing like that. Either had to be in a can or dried. Because it's hot there. They couldn't keep it. No fridge. We didn't have refrigeration, anything like that.
So everything, yeah. Well, you probably lost some weight.
No, I can't say that I did. Well, I didn't weigh too much in either, about 150 pounds.
So, did your girlfriend ever send you any cookies or anything from home? You probably.
I didn't have a good girlfriend. I just had some friends, but they were just common. I didn't have any special girlfriend then. I didn't want to leave one behind for somebody else to get while I was gone.
So when you came home, well, were you there when the war ended? Mm-hmm. Okay. So, cause you went over there in 43.
January of '44, when I left the United States.
And then, so you were there when the war ended. And still there after the war ended.
For a while, till they had to make arrangements to get everybody home. See, they couldn't do it overnight. It took time. Yeah. See, the war was over, I believe, in October. I'm not sure. Isn't that about
45.
right? I think.
Yeah. I think that, I'm not positive on that. October sounds good. And then, so you were there quite a bit after that.
About 2 or 3 months.
And so how did you, how did you feel about all that was going on with the war?
Well,
did you all get the news of what was happening?
No, not really. We didn't have any radio or anything like that.
You didn't have any radio even? So the only kind of communication you had much was letters from
home, get together.
Uh-huh.
Play poker and shoot crap.
Yeah.
Walk around. Sundays just get 3 or 4 men get together and walk around, go look at something. But there wasn't any place to go, nothing to see. Natives were there, they was there, but it was only...
And were they helpful, or did they...
They worked some. When they could speak English, they couldn't speak much English. Only 2 or 3 of them would know what to do, but we didn't have anything to do with them, but they would work some.
And then did you go out in the jungle any and see?
No, very little. I would some, but not very much.
Anything interesting happen while you were there?
Not that I know of.
Was it just pretty boring and routine?
Well, you take a bunch of guys get together. It's not too boring. There's something going on.
Probably made some good friends there too.
I did. I made some awful good friends.
Stayed in touch with them after the war?
Yeah, they pretty much, some of them I did. We visited some of them. I had a good friend, Chattanooga, and one in Dayton, Ohio. We visited quite a bit. And then we had Army reunions after I come out of service. I get to those once a year. But they're all about gone now.
And did, so when you didn't get any news, your ones over you didn't give you much news about what was going on with the combat and the winning or losing?
We didn't know what was going on.
So you just didn't know what was going on?
Very little.
Well, I guess you were hoping the war was going to end soon and we were going to win this thing.
Couldn't wait till it was over.
Yeah.
It was a happy day when we heard it was over. See, it's over, I think, in October. I believe it was. And we didn't get to come home till January. We still had, well, it took all the troops it took time to get everything organized and get boats and us to bring us home and so forth.
Had to take down all those tents.
No, we left them. I don't know what to do with them.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
And you just left all of those things.
Oh, see, the tents didn't belong to us. Tents, well, I don't know what size. Put 4 cots in one tent. 4 of us per tent. And they didn't belong to us. Well, I guess it belonged to the United States or somebody, but I didn't care what they done with them.
Yeah.
All I was thinking about coming home.
And of course, you didn't have any bathrooms in there. I guess you had some makeshift bathrooms
They
and
was outside.
outside. And then you had these. You showed me that picture of those,
Lister bags, what they call them.
and that's where they held your water. So you just get your little.
Had a quart container with a strap on our belt, and we could fill it up and take it to a tent and wouldn't have to worry about running back and forth to get a drink. But that was the only water supply we had to drink.
Well, did everybody stay pretty well
Yes,
there?
they did.
They didn't get all those illnesses from.
Mosquitoes the only thing, worst thing we had over there. But
And did anybody get?
yes, some of them took malaria.
Malaria and-
It got straightened up, but at night you almost had to wear a long sleeve shirt. And at daytime we didn't wear none. Cut our breeches off like this and no shirt. And that's the way we went all the time in daytime.
Because the temperatures were really.
About
Really warm.
80 to 100 most of the time.
Oh.
Got over 100 a few times, but 80 to 100 just about what it averaged.
Wow. So, well, and then when you came home, when the war was over, you came home and got in the excavating business?
Not right then. I didn't get in that till after I married. I come home and got right on the farm, went right on to work, and bought a tractor pretty soon. As soon as we get one, and then started farming with tractors. See, did have tractors about the day before the war,
Yeah.
and during the war you couldn't get nothing.
And so were you pretty amazed with those tractors when they came out?
Oh, I tickled to death.
And now look at the equipment they have.
I know it.
Is it unbelievable?
It is. I tell you,
Uh-huh.
a lot of difference it was.
Uh-huh. And then when you came home, and so then you started dating
Jean, my wife.
Jean.
Yeah, stayed with her for about a year. Married in February 14th and 46, I reckon.
on Valentine's Day. And then, and so the war was over, but I guess things still were pretty tight after the war.
It took a long time to get leveled back. You couldn't buy it nothing. It could only make it so fast.
Yeah.
And a veteran had to have a priority to get a tractor. He had first priority, see.
Oh, you did? Well,
Yeah.
that was good.
It helped us out, so I was lucky to get a tractor and help my daddy out. We was right together.
Uh-huh. And so, so yeah, that was good. And then, did they come out then with the with veterans being able to get, you know, low interest housing loans or things like that?
We had some benefits. Yeah, we did.
And then you stayed in Pleasant Grove and built a home there, or lived in your?
My daddy had a tenant house, and after we married, I moved in it for a little while, and then I moved and built my own house and moved in it. Lived right within a mile of where I was born at, pretty much.
And then along came your children.
Yep.
And but they didn't stay on the farm, did they?
No. Well, yeah, my son did. He's in the horse business. He got.
So he did stay.
Yeah. I turned the farm over to him after so long a time. He ran the food with horses, and that was his life. So then after he took the farm over, then I moved and got in the excavating business with Sandy Sims, was my partner. We was in the Springfield excavating for a long time, about 40 years, I think.
Okay. Well, is that where Sandy learned to excavate? Because he was in the service at one point.
Yeah, he was younger than I was. He was 8 years younger. He come in, I think I don't know what war he was in.
Probably the Korean. No?
No. The next war after World War II.
Well, I guess the Korean. Yeah.
Could have been. I don't know.
Yeah, I bet it was. So, well, I want to thank you for being here. Is there a little story or anything you'd like to tell us?
I don't know a thing.
But-
I'm just glad I'm still around, able to take care of myself. And
So you moved to town after, after you were in the excavating business.
no,
And
I didn't move to town after my wife died.
okay, 3 years ago then. Okay.
And I was out there by myself, and I didn't exactly want to move to town, but for my convenience and best, I thought it was for my health. I moved to town.
Well, I know you're out and about quite a bit. And when I was talking with Jackie the other day, you all were in Lebanon, I think, and going to lunch. So I believe you seem to be healthy and
Well,
active and doing well.
for my age, I can't complain. I reckon I can't see like I used to, can't hear, but Jackie takes care of me. If I want something, I just got to holler at Jackie, and there she's right there.
And well, I'd say, well, I think you. Do you drive?
No more than I have to.
But you drove down here today?
No, Jackie's waiting.
Did Jackie? Okay.
But I drive around here in town, but I don't get out much. Don't like to drive. Can't see.
Well, I'd say you're doing pretty daggone well, Mr. Shoemaker, and you certainly don't look your age.
I'm beginning to feel it, though.
I'd say that active lifestyle you have led has kept you young. And, may not feel it, but you look it. So, anyway, well, I want to thank you for your service and very much appreciate that. And glad that you're able to share with us your experience during the war. And I wish you well in your future.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
So, thank you for being here today.